Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. But when I tell you trackies, all I could be thinking after watching Brianna Liston run was something special is coming. Now, things kicked off with her in the 4 by 100 meters for LSU, and she was on the first leg. And trackies, when I tell you she ate them girlies up, she swallowed them whole on that first leg. It was absolutely ridiculous, completely dominant, and it showed her class above the rest. Now, the baton was not changed over, the fastest or the best, but still, track is that performance on that first leg from Brenna Liston. Let me think immediately in that moment something special is coming. And it brought me back to that moment when I saw her run against the professional athletes, Aaliyah Hobbs, on that 4 by 1 relay. And when she was going toe to toe with Aaliyah Hobbs, in my opinion, it even looked like she beat Aaliyah Hobbs. I remember thinking, oh my God, something special is coming from Brianna Liston. But shortly after that, she seemed to have picked up, an injury. And I, kind of, alluded to maybe that's where, she got hurt from because she was, going toe to toe with, the professional athletes. But still, track is from then on, I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what an amazing leg she ran in that relay. And I believe at that moment or that time it was the second leg. However, today she ran the first leg, and I'm telling you, trackies, she smoked them girlies. She swallowed them whole. And the only thing I was left thinking after seeing that performance was something special, absolutely special is coming. Now, y'all know her coach told her one race at a time. I talked about it earlier today. One race at a time. I looked at her. She looked really good. And I said, all right, Brianna Liston, let's see what you're going to come with. But I'm not going to tell you any lies. After watching that 4 by 1, she opened up my appetite for more. So I was pretty much dying to see that 100 meters track is where she came up in the second heat, and she took that heat running at 10.99 seconds. Now I have to tell you, trackies, in second place behind her was Kayla Jackson, 11.04 automatically qualifying as well. And Rosemary Chakumo was in third. She ran at 11.16 seconds. So going off the only two athletes that automatically qualify, track is, just to start, I'm telling you, track is when you get into the thick of things, Brianna Liston, I believe, has something special, absolutely special coming. Now, I did talk about her potential challengers in the women's 100 meters. I talked about earlier today, Mackenzie Long, and Mackenzie Long ran a personal best again in her heat, and she ran a 10.91 seconds, or you could call it a semifinals, and she ran a 10.91 seconds, right? So fantastic running. And I also talked about Jaden Mays. It's funny that these three athletes are top three, in the rankings. They all took their individual heats, and Jaden Mays ran at 11.04 seconds. So track is, this is going to be a fantastic race, and I can't wait to see what happens in the finals. And as I said, in my opinion, it feels like something special is coming. Unfortunately, we had no further qualifiers in this particular race heading into the finals, and Brenna Liston will be our only rep from a Jamaican perspective. But as I said, fantastic running from Brenna Liston. Now, also making it is team of God Bless and also Rosemary Chakumo. Those are athletes to always look out for, as well as Kayla Jackson. Don't know if I mentioned her before, but certainly she's always been there or thereabouts all season. I've been watching the collegiate races, so she's always been in the thick of things, right? So this is going to be an exciting, exciting race, and I can't wait to see what exactly happens. And as I said, I am very, very excited. I just feel like there's something in my bones telling me that something special is coming, and I can't wait to see what that is. All right, now, trackies, let's move on to the men's long jump, where the results were pretty, surprising. You could say shocking as well from a Jamaican perspective, where the collegiate leader, the man that has been pretty much steamrolling everyone, walked away with the indoor title, jumping a massive 8.40 meters. Still to this date, is the furthest jump, whether done indoors or outdoors, for the men's long jump. Wayne Pinnock, he actually placed fifth here, where he jumped a 7.98 meters. As I said, pretty interesting. You could even say shocking. However, Joe Track is just something to note. Last season, he also went into the outdoor championships as the favorite. There, though, he finished second behind his fellow countryman and teammate Keir McLeod, and he jumped at 8.15 meters then to place second. But what was most interesting and notable about that 2023 season is that he went to the World Championships and jumped a massive 8.50 meters to walk away with that silver medal at the Global Championships. So even though he placed fifth here, Trackies, I'm not particularly panicked. Right, as it relates to this particular result, I'm thinking one or two things. Maybe, he, had a setback during training, or it could be what we've seen in previous years where they're pretty much targeting the national championships, the Jamaican national championship, for him to pull out one of his best jumps there to qualify, and also the Olympic Games. Now he will be up against some world class athletes at his Jamaican trials. We're talking about the likes of Kerry McLeod, also as well Tajay Gale. Now as well, we're hearing that the young starlet, or young star, coming up, Jadon Hibbert, is also looking to throw his hat into the long jump ring as well. So he pretty much has to turn up at his best there. So I'm not really particularly perturbed right now. I want to see what he does at the trials, and then we pretty much go from there. But I will not say that this is surprising, because it has happened to him in previous years where he has gone in as favorite and win the competition. I will say that least. Maybe the jump would have been further in previous years, but again, I'm still not 100% panicked based on what I've saw so far this season. Unless he has gotten some kind of setback, then I'm expecting great things from him this season. This could just be considered a little blimp, in what is to come, major for him this season.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I had, a slight little thing going on. So, I'm just, taking my little time to recover. But as I say, it's gonna be a show to put on in Eugene. So, just gotta get ready for that and just put it out there.
Now, to round out top eight, we did have, Nikolai Williams finish eighth here in the men's long jump, where he jumped at 7.76 meters. Now, moving on from the men's long jump, I just want to touch on the men's shot put as well, where Courtney Lawrence brought out his best effort ever to date, a personal best. He threw 19.92 meters to finish fifth in the men's shot put there. So, great performance from him, and he walks with a fifth place finisher at the NCAA Division One Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Now, moving on to the men's 800 meters. Now, these were semifinal runs, and the finals will come up on Friday. Now, Therese Roden and Kimar Farquharson both qualified for the finals, and they actually finished second and third, respectively, in their heat, and also just times overall as well, with a 1 minute 46.18 seconds and a 1 minute 46.32 seconds. So fantastic running from them. And yeah, as I keep saying, Jamaica is getting better and better in the men's 800 meters. Clearly, we have a few more athletes that didn't make the cut this time around. Clearly, having their own little setbacks there, but still, track is that's a part of track and field. We have two that make it through, and that for me is a great deal, or a big deal for Team Jamaica. And I can't wait to see what these athletes do in the finals. Now, moving on over to the men's 400 meters, we also did have two athletes make it through to the finals. We had Javon Powell. He goes in with the fifth overall fastest time with a 45.17 seconds. And also we had Raheem Hills with the ninth and last qualifying spot, going into the finals with a 45.59 seconds clocking. Our now track is just to touch on the final event here. That is the men's 110-meter hurdles. Now we actually did have quite a few setbacks here in the men's 110-meter hurdles, and only Jerome Campbell made it through, running a 13.44 seconds to the finals. Again, Trackies, these finals, as I said, come up on Friday, and I will be reporting on those finals as they come through. Now, Trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.